moment, please recall it to me. But I never did that.
I really was just kidding. I promise.
Well, if you look on YouTube, I don't know if the gays like me because Steven, he said some few words about me. He thought I was.
What did Steven say about you?
He said that on YouTube, he said that he didn't say it, but on YouTube it says he comes outside and he sits in the backyard and there's Dan and Brian sitting with him, and he says, "Yeah, that colored girl in there thinks she's."
I knew you were gonna say that.
Wow!
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, did you see that?
I didn't know that.
No, here's the thing. Stephen was on our show, and he addressed that. And what he said was, and Erica, if I'm mistaken, or Colton, if I'm mistaken, correct me, is that when he came out and said that, he was mocking somebody who said that in the house.
Yeah, he was making fun of Jerry.
Who said that now? Who said that now?
I think
he said it was Jerry. He told me it was Jerry.
And
he did.
He came out and was mocking the words that Jerry had used, and he very misunderstood for that.
Well,
so,
it's sad
remember
because
that correctly?
It's sad because it doesn't have Jerry saying it. Well, it's very sad because you don't see Jerry saying it anywhere on the blogs and the live feeds.
Right, exactly.
And so this is the point. Like, okay, so he's mocking Jerry, but we don't see him saying it. And then Brian and Dan, they sat there and they just let him say it.
Wow.
I thought that was classic.
That's unfortunate.
Here's the thing.
And they didn't say, "Hey, wait, yo, that's going too far. Don't even go there." Hey, it's a game.
Right,
Don't even. Nobody put on brakes in that instant. And when I saw that, I thought, okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I've talked to Steven, outside of the show. Him and I have had conversations, and, if you say Colton, he'll know who you're talking about. And I've went through, we talked about every house guest in the house. And we talked about you, Libra, and he does not have a problem with you at all.
That's wonderful to hear that Steven didn't have a problem.
You got a problem with me?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Steven either. I mean, although, I do.
So they got a problem with me? Tell me what's going on, Coach.
Hold on, Colton. I know
that. I haven't seen it. What up?
Hold on, wait a minute, Ollie. I know that he wanted me out of the house. Steven went on a little run that last week. And so, I mean, hey, I can respect him for trying to stay in the game, but at the same time, if you were to come out of the house and the first thing that your husband hands you is his laptop with a YouTube clip of somebody that you actually thought was, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Steven is a good-looking guy. I mean, he's handsome. He's gorgeous. He's got beautiful blue eyes. He's very
What do you think about that, Colton? Do you agree with that, Colton?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's gorgeous, and he is one of the second funniest people next to me in the house. I mean, he's hysterical. He is so funny. And so for me to have that connection with him, we obviously y'all seen it on TV. We had our late-night talks. He almost sent me and Keisha to hysterics, talking about how he at one point dated women and this is what he did. And we were like, woo! And at that point, you got to realize we've gone weeks with no action. So, but, and connecting with Steven in there and having that fun time with him and to get off of a show, and it's a heartbreak. It's a letdown. To even hear him mimic somebody like that.
Yeah, that they even mimic that is kind of out of line.
It was just instead of him saying at any point that was just so wrong, I can't believe him, how dare he say something like that, it just worked out perfectly that it sounded like it came out of his mouth.
Really, I'm gonna cut you off. At Steven's defense, I'm the first to even say this. People say things in the house that you probably shouldn't say, and it's to the point where you don't think twice before you say it, and then when you say it, it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, and it happens to everybody in the house, everybody, including me, and that's something that
honestly, I don't think I would care if I didn't like Steven. I don't think I'd care. But because I like Steven, I think that's what made it hurt more. You know what I mean? Now, had it been Jesse saying something like that, or, Miss Costa, I would have been like, word to your mother. You know what I mean? But because it was Steven, I think it hurt me. And I can say that now. At the time, you're trying to, save face and be that strong person. And, I can't believe he would say, no, now I feel like I was hurt by that. And had it come from other people that I probably didn't care as much for, I would be like, sorry. But I actually liked him. And so that's kind of where that's coming from.
I can understand that. But the only thing in Steven's defense, sometimes on YouTube they don't show the entire thing, and so they might have not shown the entire conversation.
That's true, and I definitely can agree to that as well. I mean, honestly, if Steven reached out to me tomorrow and said, "Hey, what's up?" I've seen him around on Facebook. I would not, I wouldn't be, the type of person to be like, "Don't ever contact me again." I would definitely speak to Steven and maybe convey some of the things that I've said here on the show, that if it would have happened from anyone else, maybe I wouldn't have been as hurt as much.
Look, I'm going to say this, man. For anybody who takes anything personal out of the house, that just tells you, a little bit about themselves. It's a game, for one. Two, it's a TV show that's designed to turn every single person against one another. And if you walk out the door and you're still holding personal feelings, that's on you. And I dropped every single thing that I may have had. I didn't like half of the people in the house, but it's to the point where I'm not going to carry nothing personal against them. I mean, you won't find me taking it with them or anything like that, but to the point I'm not going to just ignore them or speak bad about them just because, you weren't in my alliance in the house, so I'm not going to talk to you, or I'm going to ignore you, this and that.
If anybody except for two people were to reach out to me, I'd probably reach and be fine with that. He may not carry anything personal from the house, but like I said on the show, I'm a mother bear, and when it comes to my children, don't go there. You can talk about me in any form or fashion, but do not bring my kids in it. And when you bring my kids in it, to the extent that they were brought into me as a person and my personal whatever, then that's where I draw the line. Now, that's my perspective. And until you're a parent, maybe you won't know that. And if you weren't in that situation as a parent, maybe you can understand it. But other than that, I think that, like, if people were to reach out, I think we've moved past the show, and we can be like, "Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Life is good, great." But like Ollie said, are we kicking it with everyone? Probably not.
No,
that's okay.
No.
I mean, because that's not what the show is designed for. It's not designed
No, you ain't on the show to make friends. You're on the show to win $500,000.
It's not called Best Buddies. It's called Big Brother, and that's how it goes, And honestly, I just... You want to go in
Libra's case, look, I understand in Libra's case to the point where it's personal, and if something hits you on that level, then I respect where she's coming from. But for me, at least from what I know, no one came at me personally to the point where I'm not going to say nothing to them or ignore them or even, badmouth them, in public, like some people have probably already done. It's to the point where...
Sure I've gotten badmouthed. So.
I'm going to say that tells you a couple things. One, it tells you what kind of level they're on, and two, it takes things out of perspective from a game standpoint. If you're in the game and things don't go your way, you react in another way. In the game, that's good. Outside the house, a few months after the show, and you're still holding personal feelings, that's something that needs to be reevaluated. And that's something I've learned to let go. And I moved on from the show, to be honest with you. Big Brother 10 was done.
But let's just bust it out. Let's just keep it real. If somebody were to say, "So, Ollie, what are you and April up to?" and y'all aren't together, that's not your first point of conversation. And that is something that happened from the show. And you're not going to be like, "Oh, yeah, no personal feelings. Yeah, we cool." No,
exactly. I definitely hear what you're saying. On a personal level, it's to the point where if there's some things that you just can't overcome, that you don't even want to think about, then that's another level. But if it's something with game-wise, something in the house where it's, you just didn't like someone, didn't get along, they weren't aligned with you for some reason, and then you hold that against someone, that's a little childish.
No. I'm not going to not talk to you because you weren't in my alliance. I'm not going to not talk to so-and-so because, who can blame Brian? The man went out week 1. He didn't even see it coming. I mean, if Brian contacted me, I'm not going to be like, because it was a game. It was all like business. Like Memphis said, it was business. So if Memphis contacted me, yes, I would still reach out to him. He did no ill wills to me, and I don't begrudge him because of the show. But, I mean,
I hear your point.
I'm a human, and I have feelings, and I'm a mother, and that comes first in my life. And I am very proud to say that I do the best I can do every day. My kids are number one. I will go without. I will get in front of trains. I will dive and cross 7 seas, whatever I need to do for my children. And so to be questioned about that, and because you didn't get a prize in a game show, is beyond me. I don't know.
You know what, Libra? I can definitely say that, if someone wants to talk about me, and I'm a mother, and, talk about my mothering, I'm not a black woman, but I would be an angry black woman. I just would not